Hello everyone and welcome back, and thank you so much for joining me today. And before I go any further, I just want to show my gratitude to each and every one of you guys, because you guys have been so patient, at least I hope, and so just so supportive that I can't even start to express my gratitude for that. I've heard many channels that when they didn't film that they lost a lot of subscribers, and I didn't go down that path, and so for that I am so grateful to each and every one of you guys for sticking around and supporting me and being patient, because it's not easy to pack and try to be out in the garden at the same time. And that being said, I am still unpacking and I am still trying to work out the kinks in my yard. So with that being said, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to take you along with me. But I'm going to take you back to the day that we occupied the property, because at that time, the property looks so different than when we did the inspections. When we did the inspections, all the garden beds were pretty pristine, as they should be when you're trying to sell a house, right? But when we moved in and occupied it, and I totally understand that when you're packing and you're moving, that you don't always have time to do everything. And so for that reason, the gardens over here were not kept up, and so they were really overgrown. So you'll get to see all that. Now, I'm not going to go through individual plants, but for the big picture, you get to see what they look like and where I'm going forward. Now, the primary subject for today is basically mapping my yard to try to figure out where the sun rises, where it sunsets, where I get shade, where I get sun, so that I can start planning accordingly. But what will be coming is that I did end up building a shade garden where a lot of these plants that I brought will be going in, so stay tuned for that video. I will also be doing some cleanup videos that have already been filmed, so stay tuned for those coming up. I did a project, my very first project in my home, and you'll also get to see some of the changes that we did inside our home. So stay tuned, and and if you guys want to see more of this, please give me a big like, and also don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and more importantly, that notification button, because without that you won't know when I'm posting a video, and I don't want you to miss any of them. So without further ado, you guys, I'm gonna walk around the gardens, and I hope you really enjoy this. So let's get started. I think the guy that was doing the inspection said that we face northeast, and I'm trying to determine where the sun rises and where the sun sets, because that's how I'm going to be gardening, and that's how everybody should be gardening. So right now this is full sun, so this is all east sun. This here, this has a little bit of shade, which is exactly what I want to see. But once the sun starts going to the south, then this is going to be full sun here for a little while. So that's what I'm trying to determine, is where all my plants are going to be. But this whole area right here, as well as this area, is going to be shaded in the afternoon. This garden now is the first garden that I weeded, which I didn't show you guys weeding because it was just something that I was doing on a whim. But this garden here, I believe I'm going to call it the roadside garden. But this area here gets shaded, so I want to see how much sun is really here to determine whether my hostas will survive here. And I really think they will, because as the sun goes the other way, I believe this one here gets more into shade. But yeah, right now it looks like it's somewhat doable. It's not like at the heat of the day, and let me tell you, it gets really hot. And so that's where this garden is. So as you can see, it's pretty full sun. Okay, and then this side here will get afternoon shade. So as you can see, it does have some shade here, and tucked in between. So it'll get good morning sun, which is good to see. Right here, this whole area right here, I'm going to carve out and make into a shade garden. Because I think for the most part, this one definitely does stay shaded. And that's where I have a lot of the plants that I brought in, which is right over here. And it does look like she had something here, but the deers probably ate it. However, I haven't seen them eat anything here. Now, my Brenra did not survive. It's not that it didn't survive, it's just really whimpering. I'm gonna plant it regardless and give it some food because it may still come back next year. But this is where I'm going to be doing a lot of hostas. And I didn't really want to plant my peony over here. I don't know if you guys can even see anything down here. But yeah, this is where I have a lot of the plants that I brought. I'll go over those at another time. And then my peony is, I believe, in pretty perfect placement over here, which I still need to move it somewhere else. And that's why I'm recording this as well, because this doesn't like, it'll do okay with morning sun, but not afternoon. I mean, this was underneath my pergola in my other home, and you can see that it really fried this part of my tree and a little bit on that side because of here. But in the center, all the way down, it looks like it's doing great. So that's good to see. Here's a few more plants that I put because I just wasn't sure where to put them. But this is my spiderwort. This one can actually handle the sun, so I'm not too worried about that. The mums all can handle some sun. And then right over here, this right here, I'm thinking I'm calling it the driveway garden. But right now, this portion here is all in shade for the most part. I'm going to go all the way around it. But this will get full sun in the afternoon and mid-afternoon. I do have one hosta that I brought, as well as my coneflowers. That one, I've had it here for a little while, and so far I haven't seen any deer munch on this, other than I think they've been munching on this plant here. But I'm going to turn around because now this is that one porch area that it could be the west side. And I can't determine if this is a weed or not, but I got to identify. I mean, it looks like a weed to me, and I'm sure it's a weed of some sort, but it's just really tiny, beautiful daisies. Now, I did cut some of them out, but for the most part, they're really kind of pretty, so I might just leave that. But the foxglove, she has quite a bit of it. I'm on the fence whether I like them or don't like them. I know a lot of people love them, but it's, you know, everybody has their own preference. Now, this is my bishop dahlia that I brought. That can handle full sun, morning sun, afternoon sun. It's been doing fantastic right there. So I may plant it in this area. And then she has a lot of different types of mums here. Beautiful cut flowers. Some of them I can't exactly off the top of my head know the names of them, so I put them on the screen here. But this right here, it's really beautiful. And then she has a lot of these, I think they're lupins. And then she has more bee balm here. So this all gets good morning sun, but then yet this whole area gets really shaded in the afternoon. So let's move on to let's go this way. And that's all my vegetable gardens. It's so overgrown. It was very well maintained when I first got here to look at the property. It looked beautiful. And now it just looks like a mess. But I'll get to it and it'll look beautiful again. Now she does have a clematis over here, or clematis, whatever you want to call it. And it manages perfectly here. It does look like she planted some type of allium or some kind of plant down here to help shade the roots, because clematis need their feet in the shade and their head in the sun, and that's in perfect position. Was blooming beautifully. And then this right here, you know, the salvia can take full sun. And then this all gets morning sun, good morning sun. I mean, it can get really hot over here in this whole two sides. Can get pretty hot. But in the afternoon, it's all shaded. So everything seems to be surviving here. I'll go through the names later. I had my spider lily here. I put that one here. And that's the one that my neighbor gave me over in the other home. And so I brought it because it's a beautiful lily, even though it curves every year for me. But she's been doing great there. So I'm going to leave her there. I brought pinnacle hydrangeas right here. Am I pointing to it? Yeah. And then I also have my other one right here, my pinnacle hydrangeas. Now these can handle some sun, but they kind of like to be sun protected. So far they're doing fine, and they haven't been eaten by deer, and neither has anything of this. This is the only hellebora I brought. It's a double scoop purple hellebora, and I'm not 100% sure of the name. I will identify it, but this one I just absolutely loved, and it was very, very small early in the year, and it's grown pretty good size right now. So yeah, so I brought her with me. And I will plant a butterfly bush over here because I just absolutely love them. So this all gets good morning sun. And I do have one hosta here that's suffering. I've got to move her. She's getting too much afternoon sun. As you can see, look at parts of it. This is my June hosta. This one definitely needs to be moved because she's getting, see how this is? It's from, let's see, is it watered? Oh, it could be possibly from, hold on, you guys. I'm going to tuck that one right in underneath there. And it should be okay. It should be protected. I think the reason why it's fried is because a little bit from the sun, but from lack of water in my behalf. I forgot to water it last night. And then over here gets good morning shade. But this area, all right here, as you can see, I brought my greenhouse, and so I'm thinking this could be my greenhouse side garden. And all this gets complete full sun in the afternoon, and it is hot afternoon sun. So this is definitely facing southeast. But yeah, and then some of these I'm not going to keep. I don't want to go over it right now because that's for another video. But a lot of these plants here, although they might be beautiful, I'm going to kind of take them out, maybe place them elsewhere. But this all gets complete full sun. The azalea gets full sun. I'm also going to move this because this right now looks like it's getting shade, which is fine. But these are both lilac shrubs. I don't know what the flower looks like. Hopefully they're a color because she did a lot of whites. And I like white, but I think a pop of white here and there is great, but not overall white. I did bring anemone. It's looking really bad, but I think it's going to be just fine. And then, of course, another one of my bishop dahlias. This one here can handle the full sun. All this handles the full sun. However, it does get some shade in the afternoon. The cedium can handle full sun. So far, it's doing great. It's even starting to flower, and it's just the stone crop cedium that I absolutely love in the other house that I pulled up. And it whimpered for a long time, but it is now doing just great. So this may get a little damp shade, and so I could tuck some hostas here and there. And once this maple tree grows up, and I'm not 100% sure the variety of that one over there as well as this one, but these two will provide shade down the road. And then Over here, there's no garden over in this area. We're going to be clearing that area out and building a garden over here and also a man cave over there. So yeah, that's where my gardens are, you guys. Oh, I forgot this garden here. God, I have so many gardens here. This garden here gets morning shade, but this gets full sun. With some dampo lighting of shade. Hanakoa grass is dying, but hopefully it'll come back. But this gets a little bit of morning shade, but right now this is what it looks like. And then right here are plants that I brought with me, which are my red valerian that can handle sun, afternoon sun, but it really does so much better when it's got some afternoon protection. And of course, the mums can handle sun. Here's my other grasses. They're finally popping up. Thank God. Hopefully, if nothing else, they'll come back next year. But I've got some tree lilies here that are beautiful. Those can handle the sun. Then I've got some lucifers over in the back. And those can handle full sun with some sun protection. And I believe this whole area here, I'm pretty sure it gets full sun in the afternoon. Around 1, 2 o'clock is a good hot zone. And then the roses can handle full sun as well. That's where everything is. And you guys, on one of my first garden tours of this yard, I thought this was a weed. I was going to get ready to pull it out. I mean, the leaves look pretty poor. I think this could be actually placed elsewhere. Actually has a tag on it. What does this tag say? So this is an aroma tomato. No, that's not aroma tomato for sure. That must have dropped out of one of my containers. But anyway, look at how beautiful that flower is. And then I think she has over here some canna lilies. I think she has canna lilies in another spot as well. Yeah, and then more lupins. She has a lot of irises. I love irises. I think they're very beautiful, but I'm not quite sure if I like them yet or not. But for now, I'll keep them and see what happens next year. This is a rose. It's absolutely gorgeous, and I'm going to end this after this. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for watching. I love you. I will see you soon.